Good morning, Year 4. It's Mrs. Collins here with Wednesday's maths lesson. Pause the clip and write today's short date and learning objective in your maths book. It's really important that you do that so when the teachers are marking your books at school, we know which day you're on. Press play when you're ready to make a start. Welcome back. I hope you've spotted this little dog here and his motorbike, and I hope that's making you smile this morning. Let's get our brains warmed up this morning with some multiplication. What does this array represent? And how can we write the fact family? Can you do this with me in your maths book? Let's count the counters together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Write the number 4 in your book. What are we timesing it by? Let's count going down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4 lots of 8. Let's count in 8s all together. So we've got 1 lot of 8, 8, 2 lots of 8, 16, 3 lots of 8, 24, 4 lots of 8, 32. 4 times 8 equals 32. Write that as a calculation in your book. What else is this array showing us? It's showing us 8 rows of 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's also showing us 8 times 4, and we know the answer is 32. Write that in your maths book. So what are the division facts for this fact family? Well, we'll start with the biggest number, 32. We can divide it by 4 to give us 8, because we know that there were 8 rows. Or we could switch it round and do 32 divided by 8 equals 4. Write these calculations in your maths book. Once you've done that, let's move on to an independent challenge. Can you do this yourself? On the screen, you'll see the Chilli challenges. Choose the one you want to work on, count the counters in the array, and write the fact family, 2 multiplication facts and 2 division facts. Pause the clip to give yourself time to do this. You might want to have a go at all 3 challenges. We'd be really impressed if you did. And press play when you're ready to go through the answers. Okay, let's have a look at the answers together. Can you mark them in your maths book? The first challenge, the array showed us 3 times 3 equals 9. 3 times 3 equals 9. 9 divided by 3 equals 3. And 9 divided by 3 equals 3. Give yourself a mark if you got that right. Don't worry if you got any wrong, you can write the correct answer at the side. The spicy challenge showed us 2 times 8 equals 16. 8 times 2 equals 16. 16 divided by 8 equals 2. 16 divided by 2 equals 8. Don't worry if you've got these in a different order to mine on the screen. As long as you've got all 4 facts, you've got the fact family correct. Did anyone have a go at the hot challenge? It showed us 4 times 11 equals 44. 11 times 4 equals 44. 44 divided by 11 equals 4. And 44 divided by 4 equals 11. Give yourself a mark if you got that right. Well done, Year 4. Great start. Pop your pencils down and get ready to listen to the next part of the lesson. Our Skills Sharp session is all about doubling and halving. How do you find double of an amount? What is double 6? So if you couldn't do this brain only, a really good top tip would be to draw out 6 boxes, 6 counters, or 6 dots in your book and double it, draw it out again. So double 6 means 2 lots of 6. and then you can count them up all together to find the total. You could do it as a multiplication, because doubling a number is the same as timesing it by 2. 2 times 6 equals 12. So double 6 is 12, and half of 12 is 6. Does that make sense? Let's have a look at another one. What's double 9? If you couldn't do that brain only, you could draw out your counters or your boxes on your page in your book, or you could have done it as a multiplication fact. 2 times 9 equals 18. Double 9 is 18, and half of 18 equals 9. I wonder if you can have a go at this yourself. On the screen, you can see 3 Chilli challenges with some tables. I'd like you to pause the screen and in your maths book, draw out this table with your pencil and ruler. You're really good at drawing things out like this at school, so let's see how neatly you can do it at home. When you're drawing your table, you'll need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 squares down, and I suggest you do it about 6 squares across, and then you can draw your line in the middle at 3 squares. So that's 6 squares across and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 squares down. Draw that table, write the headings half and double, and see if you can fill out the information by doubling and halving these numbers. Give yourself time to do this and press play to go through the answers. Welcome back, Year 4. Did you draw the table in your book and fill out the halves and doubles? Let's see if we can mark them together. With your pencil, remember to put a tick or a dot to show whether you got the answer correct. You can shout your answers out as I say them. Double 2 is 4. Double 5 is 10. Double 6 is 12. Double 8 is 16. Well done. Let's have a look at the spicy challenge. Double 7 is 14. Half of 22 is 11. Double 12 is 24. And double 25 is 50. Well done. I wonder who's pushed themselves for the hot challenge this morning. Let's see. Half of 18 is 9. Double 45 is 90. Half of 24 is 12. And double 28 is 56. Well done, Year 4. What a great start to today's maths lesson. Pop your pencil down, give your hand a rest. Sit back and listen. Yesterday we started something new in maths. We learnt about what area is. Can you remember? Area is the amount of space taken up by a 2D shape. So it's the measurement of the inside of the shape, the space it takes up. Let's have a look at this shape together. It's an irregular shape, and I'd like to know what the area is. I'm going to use my pencil to draw on the sheet to help me count the squares. Can you count with me? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The area of this shape is 7 squares. What about these? Let's have a look together. Can you count with me? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The area of this shape is 9 squares. What about these two? Do you notice anything about them? Let's try number 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. And number 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, even though these shapes look very different, they both have an area of 4 squares, which goes to show that just because one shape is longer and one shape is shorter doesn't necessarily mean that they have a different area. You'll notice that I've made little jottings, little lines on the squares to help me count. And you can do this today on your sheet to help you work out the area of your shapes. What about this question? Can you tell me what the area is and how many of each coloured square? Pause the clip to give yourself time to write these sentences out in your maths book. So you need to write neatly, the green area is squares. So how many squares are green? How many orange? How many purple? How many are white? And then what is the total altogether? That's going to take you a few minutes to write out. So pause the clip and press play to go through the answers. Welcome back, Year 4. Have you written those sentences in your book? I hope so. Let's go through the answers and you can tick them with me. How many of the squares are green? 1, 2. 2 are green. How many are orange? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 squares are orange. How many are purple? 1, 2. 2 are purple. What's the area of the white squares? Let's have a look. 1, 2, 3, 4. The area is 4. So how many squares is that altogether? Well, 4 add 4 is 8. Add 2 is 10. And another 2 is 12. So the total area is 12 squares. Well done. Give yourself a tick if you got that right in your book. Okay, let's have a look at a more challenging question. The question asks us, what area is shaded in blue? Let's see if we can count them together. We've got 1 square, 2 squares, 3 squares. What about this one? It's not a full square, is it? It's half a square. So the area of this square is 1, 2, 3 and a half. You might get some questions like this in your work today, so take care to make sure you're making notes around the squares if they're only shaded in halfway. In your learning pack, you will see an activity that looks like this. It's actually got 3 pages today. Because the challenges are quite big to fit on the page, they run over 3 different sheets. You might push yourself and decide to try and get through all the challenges, mild, spicy and hot. Or you might start at where you're comfortable and work your way up. You can choose. Please don't just write your answers on the sheet. You need to write them in your maths book. So you'll look at the question, you'll write the letter in your maths book, and if it's a sentence, you might need to write it out. So the area is something squares, and you'll write that as a sentence in your book, just like you would if you were in school. You are allowed to draw on the sheet to count up the squares or to make little jottings or sums, but your answers must go in your book so that we can mark them. If you need any help or you get stuck, you can contact me on our Year 4 email address. I hope my lesson has helped you with your area knowledge today, and I can't wait to see all the work that you've done in your books. Have fun with your independent learning, and I'll see you tomorrow for more maths. Bye for now.